Barnes, Leslie, this is a epic movie day, Fram. They're saying the biggest since pre-pandemic for the amount of people that will probably go to the movies.
I think so. And we're talking about two epic openings.
Yeah, it's Barbenheimer weekend. So we've got Barbie, which they're expecting to make over $100 million, and Oppenheimer, which they are expecting to make just over $50 million. Keep in mind, that movie's almost twice as long as Barbie, so less screens. And we talked about when we have movie emergencies like this, we must go to our man, and we will go now to founding member of the Atlanta Film Critics Circle, Mr. Matt Goldberg. Hey, Matt.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Great.
It's going great.
Good morning.
What's happening with these two movies? Why is it such a big deal?
I think it's twofold. First off, you typically don't see two big movies share the same weekend. Studios plan their release dates well in advance, and they want to have that weekend all to themselves. So typically, if two films start competing for a weekend, one studio will blink and move their film, and that didn't happen here. Christopher Nolan likes releasing his movies in mid-July. He's found a lot of success there. And a film like Barbie, which is a summer tentpole, is kind of the last chance to get families and younger viewers in before they have to start going back to school. So neither one really had the room to move away. And then when you put them both together, sometimes you do get two blockbusters on the same weekend. It's rare that you get two blockbusters that are so radically different by all appearances.
I've never seen so much chatter about both movies, Matt, but I do want to ask, because Christopher Nolan has a lot of fans out there, a lot of moviegoer fans, so I think he's also got a lot in his favor because of his past work and the hype and the actors that are in this movie.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I saw Oppenheimer earlier this week, and I mean, yes, you have fans of Christopher Nolan. His name is the one above the title more than anyone else because he directed the Dark Knight trilogy, he directed Inception and Interstellar. But also, you watch this movie and you can't really go more than 5 minutes before an actor you love just pops up playing like a very small part. Everyone is in this movie, ranging from, you have Cillian Murphy in the lead role of Oppenheimer, and he's great. He's fantastic. He holds it all together. But then, like, in a small, role that's maybe 5 to 10 minutes of screen time, you have Oscar winner Rami Malek as just another scientist in this massive cast.
He's popping up in a few things. Real quick, I don't want to make this all about reviewing it, but what would you give it out of 5 stars? What would you give Oppenheimer?
I give it 4 out of 5 stars. It's a lot of movie. It's a lot of people should go in knowing that this is really more of it's a biopic paced like a thriller, but it's a lot of people in rooms talking, and it's a lot of movie about a lot of things. And it takes a director like Christopher Nolan to make that captivating and really pull you along. And you're never bored with it, but it's a lot of movie to take on, and it's really thoughtful and entertaining, but it is a lot. So just know that going in.
So we're talking to Matt Goldberg about Barbenheimer this weekend with Barbie and Oppenheimer both opening up. He is founding member of the Atlanta Film Critics Circle. Matt, do you think that all of this strike action will have any impact? Because I know they spent $150 million on Barbie, and they're projecting $100 million, and then you've got the $50 million projection for Oppenheimer. Will the strike even make a difference in any of these because the hype has been so big?
The strike won't make a difference for these movies in particular because they had already started their marketing campaign well in advance. Barbie had already had its junket, and
I know, but they walked out in the middle of it. The strike was announced, and they shut down.
In Oppenheimer, they walked out in the middle.
Oh, okay.
But Barbie, there are if you see interviews online, those aren't actors being staffed. They recorded those interviews before the strike happened.
Right.
But I will say that, so for Barbie and Oppenheimer, I don't think the strike will have a lot of impact. You're going to start seeing it very, very soon as these movies start coming up, and there's no one to promote them. There's going to be no interviews. There's going to be no red carpets, really. And I think that's going to have a sizable impact. So honestly, I feel like Barbie and Oppenheimer are the last of the films before we really start seeing the strike impact.
Not sure if a lot of people know, but Christopher Nolan's daughter, who's a student at NYU, Flora, has a small part in Oppenheimer. Did you catch that? Was she good?
This is news to me. I did not know that his daughter had a small role in the film. So that is news to me. I did not catch her.
And, I'm a huge fan of Cillian Murphy from Peaky Blinders. Do you think this is going to make him a big star?
I think this is definitely going to up his profile in a way that, he's someone that I think, if you've seen, 28 Days Later, and again, Peaky Blinders, but I think this is going to take him to the next level because he really is the glue that holds this whole film together. And again, this is a film that is not lacking in star power. It's not like, it's Cillian Murphy and a bunch of, unknowns. It's Cillian Murphy and Robert Downey Jr. and Matt Damon and Emily Blunt and Florence Pugh. And he's holding the screen next to all of them, and he does an amazing job. So I feel like this is really going to elevate him, and I'm glad because I think he's a pretty terrific actor.
It's amazing how all these projections come out, and you see it often. They're being bold with these projections. Is there a chance that either of these movies flop, meaning don't even get near those big-time projections?
I'm so bad at predicting box office. I will say what we've seen this summer is that films are falling short of their projections. They're not outright flopping, but what's happening is they're projecting like Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny to come in at one number, and it comes in about 10 million less than they thought. So it's not an outright flop, but it's also not where the studio wanted, especially for what they spent on the film.
But how does Mission Impossible get 56 million and they're saying Barbie's going to get 100 million? I just don't see it.
I think it probably appeals to more people.
Which?
I mean, here's the thing. I will say this about Barbie. You're saying, how does Mission Impossible not appeal to so many people?
Yeah.
But Mission Impossible, and I think those movies are great, but it's the seventh Mission Impossible. Either you're on or you're not, and the audience is pretty locked in. You don't really need to have any prior knowledge of characters or world or anything to walk into Barbie. You need to know that the Barbie is a doll, and everyone knows that Barbie is a toy, and that's it. And you just walk in, and I think that makes it more inviting, especially to a larger demographic. I don't think I think you could probably bring younger children to Barbie and be okay. I'd feel a bit more apprehensive. I don't know if younger children are going to really be interested in Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1.
Yeah, I think Barbie's more of a campy thing and appeals to more people. And, you've got Margot Robbie, you've got Ryan Gosling, and then you got Billie Eilish doing one of the songs. So, it's a win-win, and the Barbie thing is everywhere.
Yeah. You will not catch me in Barbie.
You're not the demographic, Barnes.
But you just said it's super wide. Why wouldn't I be targeted as just Gen Pop?
Here's the thing, Barnes. You might be missing out on having a really fun time at Barbie. I mean, you may think it's not your cup of tea, but it's going to
be a campy thing.
People are raving about Ryan Gosling's performance again. They think he is the funniest guy.
Yeah, raving and
Did you ever see The Nice Guys? That guy is hilarious.
Yeah, and dressing up, going to the movie. I think it's going to be that whole thing. Yeah,
I do have to wax my grass in the front yard this weekend, so it comes in second. But what is the significance, though? I know for stupid people like me who are just on the surface and they see these two movies that are drastically different. What's the big undertone of these two movies? Why did it happen that they both became a thing together?
I think in a weird way they sort of complement each other in the sense that outwardly Barbie is very fun and lively and poppy and pink, and Oppenheimer is gritty and dour and about nuclear holocaust. And so you put those two things together and you just get this bizarre juxtaposition that you didn't get in June when The Flash and Elemental opened the same weekend. It's okay, those are two blockbusters.
I gotta see these numbers next week. I'm very curious. Well, Matt Goldberg, we love having you on from Movie Emergencies. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
My pleasure, always.
And I guess we're going to see you at the movies this weekend. They're saying everyone's going. Biggest weekend in a long time.
Yeah, my wife and I, we are doing a Barbenheimer weekend. We're doing Barbie first. We're doing Oppenheimer first, because you don't want to end your day on Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer is a lot. Start with Oppenheimer, end it with Barbie.
All right, Matt, thank you.
The Morning X with Barnes with Leslie. 99.